Let me be real with you for a second. You love your Hyundai. Why wouldn't you? You spent quite a lot to take it home with you. You love the way it just sits looking pretty in your driveway. This love means you now have to know the basics. You swap the oil when that little reminder pops up, you kick the tires every now and then, and whenever you've got some spare time on your hands, you flip through that manual like it was written by Ernest Hemingway. But even with all of that, the truth is, most Hyundai owners still don't know the secrets that separate cars that defeat time itself and the ones that lose their legs at 100,000 miles. And trust me, it has nothing to do with the basics you already know. I've spent more time than I'd like to admit leaning over fenders with a wrench in my hand, listening to the stories that cars tell. And over the years, I've learned that most cars don't die of old age. They die from neglect. Specifically, from neglecting the little things that nobody ever tells you about. You want your Hyundai to be that one car in the neighborhood that still looks and drives like new when it hits 200,000 miles? You want it to outlive your car payments by a decade? Then it's time you forget the generic advice. Because I'm diving deep into the grease-stained secrets that turn a good car into a family heirloom. So, get ready to learn the 10 secrets to making your Hyundai last a lifetime. The number 3 secret is one even I didn't know until recently, and it's capable of really extending your engine's life. Let's get into it, and I'll be starting with a secret that's really gonna piss off all of you who baby your car. Secret number 1, the Italian tune-up. You love your Hyundai, so you baby it. You drive gently, you never rev it past 3,000 revolutions per minute, and you treat the accelerator like it's made of glass. I get that. I really do. You think you're being kind, right? Well, all you're doing is slowly killing your engine. All you're doing is making your car lazy. I had a customer, a sweet older woman named Carol, bring in her Santa Fe with a check engine light. The code read, "Catalyst System Efficiency Below Threshold." Don't bother yourself about what that means. Apparently, though, she was convinced the car was dying. I took it for a test drive, and it was sluggish. It just felt like it was breathing through a straw. After a quick check, I noticed a massive carbon buildup in the intake manifold. Her gentle driving style was choking the life out of it. Literally. Here's the secret. Your engine needs to stretch its legs. It doesn't need to be babied, really, which means the Italian tune-up is a real thing. A real and important thing. Once a week after the engine is fully warmed up, and I mean fully, oil at operating temperature, find a safe on-ramp. Merge firmly, letting the engine rev up to near its red line a couple of times. This isn't about speeding, acting like you're in the Fast and Furious movies. This is about heat and velocity. That high-speed, high-heat blast burns off carbon deposits that clog your direct injection engine, cleans your spark plugs, and even helps your exhaust system. It's like taking your car to the gym. A car that never sweats gets flabby. A car that gets a good workout stays lean and mean for 300,000 miles. I'm about to let you in on a little secret that would definitely surprise. I'm about to let you in on a secret I learned from my dad. Here goes. Secret number 2. Lubricate your door seals. You know that annoying squeak you hear when you go over a speed bump? You probably think it's the suspension. You could be right. But more times than you'd expect, it's actually your door seals rubbing against the painted metal of the door frame. I remember chasing a phantom squeak in a Tucson for like an hour. I checked the sway bar links, the control arms, everything. Finally, I put my hand on the door frame and pushed, and there it was. I opened the door, wiped the rubber seal with a silicone-based lubricant, and closed it. Silence. Your door seals are rubber. They dry out, shrink, and get brittle, especially if you park in the sun. When they dry out, they let in road noise, wind, and eventually water. That water gets into your door sills and kick panels, which is where the wiring for your power seats and door locks lives. I don't even need to tell you, but water plus electronics makes for one very expensive repair. So, twice a year, before winter and before summer, clean the rubber seals on all your doors, trunk and sunroof with a mild soap and water. Then, apply a thin layer of silicone paste or a dedicated rubber conditioner. Don't use WD-40 or petroleum jelly. In case you didn't know, they degrade rubber. This keeps the seals pliable, eliminates squeaks, blocks out noise, and prevents the leaks that ruin interiors. It's a $10 15-minute job that could prevent a $1,000 repair job. And now, for big secret number 3. Answer this. When do you think is the best time to top up at the gas station? Well, that takes us to secret number 3. Avoiding fuel station sediments. Alright, you've been waiting for it. This is the one that'll make you look at your local gas station a little differently. We all know to avoid sketchy gas stations. But the secret isn't just about the brand of fuel, it's also about when and how you pump it. What am I talking about? Well, I've got a story to help you understand a little bit better. A guy named Mike towed his Sonata to my shop, completely dead. It wouldn't start, no fuel pressure. We dropped the tank, and what we found looked like a science experiment gone wrong. The fuel pump was encased in a thick black varnish-like sludge. The inside of the tank looked like a dirty ashtray. I did some digging around. After quite some time, we got our answer. You see, Mike was a loyal customer of a high-volume popular gas station. The fuel itself wasn't bad, so what was the problem? He worked close by and would fill up when the tanker truck came in to refill the pumps. When a tanker refills a station's underground tanks, it stirs up all the sediment, water, and contaminants that have settled at the bottom. For the next 30 to 60 minutes, you're pumping the dirtiest gas in the station's inventory. That sediment clogs your fuel filter, wears down your high-pressure fuel pump, a $1,500 repair in many modern Hyundais, and gunks up your fuel injectors. You wouldn't want this. No one would. So, never fill up when you see the tanker truck at the station. Wait a few hours or come back the next day. And when you do fill up, don't keep topping off after the pump clicks. That extra gas you're forcing in, it gets sucked into your engine's vapor recovery system, saturating the charcoal canister that controls fuel vapors. A saturated canister can trigger a check engine light and cost you like $500 to replace. Let the pump click and stop. Yeah, there are more rules to filling up than you thought there were. I always get that when telling my customers all of this. Just remember this, it will save your fuel system. Secret number 4, the reset button for your transmission. Hyundai's automatic transmissions are smart. They have a learned behavior that adapts to your driving style. If you're a timid driver, the transmission learns to shift early and lazily to prioritize fuel economy. Over time, that becomes its baseline. But what if you need to tow something? What if you just want that crisp, responsive feel back? Your transmission is literally stuck in grandma mode because that's how you taught it to behave. Well, what if I told you there's a factory reset you can do in your driveway? You've read your manual from start to finish and you still haven't seen it. Don't beat yourself up. It's not even in the manual, but trust me, it works on most modern Hyundais. Listen up. First, turn the ignition on, but do not start the engine. Next up, press the gas pedal all the way to the floor and hold it for like 15 to 20 seconds. Then, turn the ignition off and release the gas pedal. Wait 2 minutes, then start the car and drive normally. Congratulations, guys! You've just wiped the transmission's adaptive memory. It will now relearn your current driving style from scratch. Do this after a long road trip of heavy highway driving to lock in a more efficient pattern, or do it if you feel the transmission starting to shift erratically. It's literally a free tune-up for your drivetrain. I'm about to let you in on a secret that will change everything you thought you knew about driving. What if I told you whoever taught you to drive didn't teach you everything? I'm talking about secret number 5. The park brake isn't just for parking. It's called a parking brake, right? So you only use it when you're on a hill. That's what most people think. This is why so many Hyundais end up needing rear brake calipers way sooner than they should. I've lost count of how many customers have come in with a stuck rear brake. The car is dragging, you can smell it, and the fuel economy is tanking. The culprit? The parking brake mechanism inside the rear caliper has seized up from lack of use. The secret here is to use your electronic parking brake or the pedal/handle every single time you park, even on flat ground. Why? Because it's a moving part. The cables and the internal caliper mechanisms need to cycle to stay free. If you never use it, corrosion builds up, the mechanism rusts solid, and suddenly your parking brake is just a permanent brake. Using it daily keeps the mechanism clean, lubricated, and operational. It also saves your transmission by keeping the weight of the car off the parking pole, the little metal pin that locks your transmission when you put it in park. That powell can break if the car gets bumped while in park. The parking brake is designed to take that stress, not your transmission. I've got a little secret for when winter comes rolling in. Secret number 6. The winter wiper. Hack. Winter is coming and you know the drill. You go to scrape your windshield, and your wiper blades are frozen solid to the glass. You yank them off, probably tearing the rubber, and then you have to deal with streaky, ineffective wipers all season. This seems like a little inconvenience, but here's the thing. There's a fix for it. In fact, the fix is so simple it's almost stupid. Go to your auto parts store and buy a set of silicone wiper blades. Not rubber, silicone. They cost a few bucks more, but they last 3 times as long. More importantly, silicone is hydrophobic, meaning it repels water. When you're driving in a drizzle, you can often turn your wipers off entirely because the water just beads up and flies off. But the real lifetime hack is this. During the winter, before a freeze, lift your wiper arms away from the glass when you park, but we both know you'll forget to do that. So, take an old pair of tube socks, cut them lengthwise, and slide them over your wiper blades when you park. They prevent ice from forming directly on the rubber, protect the blades from UV damage year-round, and cost you nothing. I've seen original wiper blades on a 2018 Sonata that still worked like new because the owner did this every night. Your wiper is definitely not as expensive as the many other parts on your Hyundai, but it's not about that, is it? It's about protecting the one part that literally keeps you from driving blind. Secret number 7. Cabin air filter upgrade and replacement interval. You know about your engine air filter. You might even change it yourself. But this secret isn't about that. Do you know the cabin air filter? That's the one that cleans the air you actually breathe. You, not your engine. And yes, it's as important as it sounds. I had a customer complain that her car smelled like a wet dog and that her allergies went crazy every time she drove. We pulled out her cabin air filter. It was behind the glove box, a 2-minute job, and it looked like a squirrel had been using it as a storage unit. Leaves, twigs, mouse droppings, and a thick layer of black soot. She'd literally been breathing that in for like 2 years. This is a part that doesn't go bad or need replacing too often. Nevertheless, for your own well-being, you've got to change your cabin filter every 12,000 miles, not 30,000 or whatever other made-up figure you've got. And here's a pro tip. Don't buy the cheap paper ones. There's really no need to cheap out here. Buy a HEPA filter with an activated charcoal layer. It's a $20 upgrade. The charcoal absorbs odors, exhaust fumes, fast food smells, that weird musty smell, instead of just trapping dust. It keeps your HVAC system cleaner, improves airflow, and ensures you're not recycling stale, polluted air every time you hit the recirculate button. This is a secret not meant for your car. No. This one is for your daily health and comfort. Let's get out from inside your Hyundai for a second. I've got a secret that's guaranteed to extend your sunroof's lifespan. Secret number 8. The sunroof. Maintenance. Sunroofs are amazing. Well, until they aren't. The most common leak in your Hyundai isn't a bad seal. It's a clogged drain tube. Water gets past the sunroof seal by design. That's normal. It flows into a little tray and then out through tiny tubes that run down the A-pillars and out near the front wheels. But you see, when those tubes clog with dust, pollen, and pine needles, the water has nowhere to go but down. Into your headliner, down your A-pillars, and right onto the fuse box or the main body control module, which sits under the dash. And as we know by now, water and electronics is a no-no. So, you've got to be proactive with cleaning these drains at least twice a year. It's easier than it sounds, really. Open your sunroof and look for the little holes in the front corners of the tray. Take a piece of weed whacker line, it's flexible but strong enough to push through gunk, and gently feed it down the hole until you see it come out near the front wheel well. Pour a little cup of water down to flush it out. Do this in the spring and fall, and you'll never be that person with a wet carpet and a fried electrical system wondering what happened. Secret number 9. The brake fluid. Flush is non-negotiable. You know how oil changes are non-negotiable. Good. But brake fluid? Most people treat it like a lifetime fluid. People act like it's not as important as the rest. Well, they're wrong. So wrong. Brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it actively absorbs moisture from the air. Over time, that moisture lowers the boiling point of the fluid. Water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Your brakes can get up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. When that water in your brake lines turns to steam, you get a spongy pedal. And when you need to brake hard in an emergency, that steam compresses and your pedal goes to the floor. No brakes. I had a customer with a Genesis who swore his brakes felt fine. I showed him a $30 brake fluid tester that measures moisture content. His fluid was at 4%, dangerously high. When we flushed it, the fluid that came out looked like iced tea. So, how about a little secret on this? Flush your brake fluid every 2 years or 30,000 miles, regardless of how it looks. It's cheap insurance, one of the cheapest in your car. That fresh fluid keeps your ABS module from corroding from the inside out. A repair that can cost over $2,000. Don't skip it. And to close it all out, do you know there's an anti-theft feature that also doubles as a longevity secret? What do you know about secret number 10? Steering column protection through mechanical locks. We all know about Hyundai's recent history with theft. It's been a headache, but one of the best anti-theft measures is also the best longevity hack: a simple, old-school steering wheel lock. Before you roll your eyes, hear me out. I'm not just talking about a visual deterrent for thieves. I'm talking about protecting your steering column. The way most modern cars are stolen involves breaking the ignition lock cylinder. That's a major mechanical repair. More importantly, the violent act of breaking the column often damages the clock spring. The clock spring is a delicate, coiled ribbon of wire behind your steering wheel that allows the airbag, horn, and steering wheel controls to function while the wheel turns. If that clock spring gets damaged, you lose your horn and, more critically, your airbag. A damaged clock spring means your driver's airbag won't deploy in a crash. The secret is to use a steering wheel lock as a mechanical fuse. It prevents anyone from even trying to break your column. It saves you the hassle of a broken window, yes, but it also ensures that the single most important safety system in your car, the airbag, remains intact and ready to save your life. It's a $50 investment that protects your safety and saves you from a repair that could total the car. And with that, we've reached the end of today's video. The more you understand your Hyundai, the more it has to offer. These little habits, these secret handshakes between you and your car, aren't about being a perfectionist. They're about looking at the long game. That little bit of extra attention today means you're not that person on the side of the road tomorrow, waiting for a tow truck and wondering where it all went wrong.